Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today, we're taking a look at some Bajoran builds. This is a pseudo build academy. I say pseudo because I tried to put together a 130 Bajoran Pure build. And I could do it, but it was 4 ships, and it wasn't interesting. And the last thing I want to do is create content that I don't find interesting. Because if I don't find it interesting, I don't think there's any way that you find it interesting. So what I have is 3 ships that come out to 120 points if you put them all together. So you could find a 10-point resource, put that in your build, and have at it. You could figure some other things out. You could make some changes. You could add in extra points. And you can get to 130. You can put co-pilot in this. That already makes it better. That gets you to 125. Find 5 more points. Put in different captains. Put in your faction mixing. That's fine. What this does is create a framework for how to get going with Bajorans. Alright. So the first ship, Deep Space Nine. Great ship. Oversized base. Real slow mover. Not a complicated ship. At least to start learning how to fly. Very complicated ship to fly well. In fact, one of the most potent applications of Deep Space Nine is to not ever move it. But that's a story for a different day. Dustin, I got you. Alright, with Deep Space Nine, we put on Captain Shakar Edon. And what he does, when you attack, you may re-roll all of your blank results. It's a cool effect. Skill 6 Captain, 4 points, better quality with Deep Space Nine. Why not? I should mention, because there are 2 options for Deep Space Nine, that this is the when you defend, or each time you defend. During the roll defense dice step, you may roll up to 2 additional defense dice. If you do so, disable one of your active shields for each additional die you roll. Now, you won't have any quality. You're probably going to want to use co-pilot for defensive quality. Figure out some ways to do that. There's changes that can be made to the Deep Space Nine. But the basic premise is this is where we're going. Our talent is more than meets the eye. 1 point, it fits. That's the best thing I can say is it fits. You discard more than meets the eye, you put a scan token beside your ship. Even if you already have one, you won't. You cannot perform a scan action as a free action during the round you use the ability. Not a big deal. This just gives you 1 turn to knock down their defense dice. And that's fine. 5 dice with some quality. You're good to go. I don't love the Deep Space Nine build, but I like it. And that's okay. Because it's a base cost of 44, we do have 3 more points to play with there. So you could find some wiggle room there if you wanted. You do have crew slots. There's a lot of places you can go with it. Our next ship is the Ratosha. And I've messed around with the Ratosha a lot. It's got a fun named ability. After you move, if your ship is within range 1 of a friendly ship, you may perform a battle station action as a free action. With Deep Space Nine on the board, it's pretty easy to stay within range of that ship. It's not impossible to get away from it, but you got a space station on the board. You're hopefully going to stay within range if you want to stay within range there. At least that's the goal. Our captain is Krim for the very simple fact that he grants an extra crew slot. The fact that he has a wind defending ability is just icing on the cake here. Yeah, we've got to take damage in order to do this. And in an ideal situation, Krim and Shakar would be swapped, but then we wouldn't have the crew slot for Bajoran Militia. And that creates problems. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We put 3 Bajoran Militia on the Ratosha, and that takes us from a 2 attack die up to a 5 attack die ship as long as we have the action to activate Bajoran Militia each and every round. I think we can pull that off. The last card on the Ratosha is I Am Kon Ma. Very rarely are you going to use it. Basically, this is the I have no shot, but I can make this happen for somebody else. It's an action. Discard I Am Kon Ma. Disable an upgrade of your choice on the target ship. It's not a great card, but it might be a card that makes a difference in the match, that gives you that last little poke. Say you need to disable like enhanced hull plating, a cheat death, something along those lines. This could do it. Alright, the last ship, I think it's fun. And that is the Interceptor 5. The Interceptor 5 is the one that goes on planets, obstacles, ship bases, and gets defense dice against minefields. I think planets are going to see a lot more play in the new game rules. I don't know that for a fact, but I think that they're going to be a bigger focus. We're seeing a lot more cards interact with planets. It's giving options. I appreciate that. It's a cool ship, regardless. So we're going to throw on Kira Nerys as our captain. Specifically, the target lock Kira. And yes, we're sacrificing our own action, but we're giving target lock to 2 ships that can make reasonable use of it. Now, Shakar probably doesn't need the target lock, but the Ratosha certainly does. Even at that point, I think it's worth sacrificing one ship, at least the action economy on it, to boost another one and potentially a second one if something happens to a captain. Yeah, they'll probably target Kira first, but you got to make a choice, and this is the choice I'm making. Our talent is Militia, and this is a one-time effect, but for a discard to get a battle station token and then 2 extra attack dice the first time you attack when you discard Militia, it's useful. It's going to give you some passive quality to Kira when Kira's using your action every round. So I think it works. Then we're going to put on Rolaren. That can give us another 2 attack dice. So our ideal time is to use Militia and Rolaren at the same time. We can reroll our battle stations. If we get any more battle stations, we can use our battle station token to convert. I'll take my chances. We also throw on maneuverability as a Bajoran tech. It's not so much about using the full about maneuver, although that's kind of cool. It's more the if you overlap the planet token, you can still take actions, attack without penalty. You can be attacked, but you get an extra defense die. That much is cool. And then we round all of that out with Phaser Strike, so we have a base attack of 4 when we want it. So we can go for 4, Militia, Rolaren. That gets us up to 8 with some quality. That's a cool ship. Okay, so all of that put together, I wouldn't run this all at the same time, because the Interceptor has too many actions going on. So it needs free actions being given to it. So ideally a Martok somewhere along the road. But it's still a cool ship idea. A lot was done with the Interceptor way back, like years ago, before the 50-point rule. And somebody built like a 90-point Interceptor and just put it on the planet, left it on a planet, and just murdered people with it. That was amazing to watch. I hope this was useful in some way. I found it amusing, if nothing else. So hopefully that is enjoyable. Until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Don't forget to check the description if you're watching this in late August of 2017 for the Deep Space Nine crew pack giveaway. There's a link there. All right. Again, thank you, and take care, guys.